If you're about to downsize or move home, I have 5 brilliant strategies that will help you save thousands of pounds in the selling process. If this is something that appeals, then this video is for you. For many years, I ran a successful interior design business in Surrey, and often my skills would be called upon to do a pre-sale makeover on the property in question. It would be my job to look at the property with the eyes of a potential buyer and then make recommendations on how best to prepare the house or apartment for sale to maximize the potential value. And in Surrey, where there are an awful lot of large, incredibly valuable houses, this could amount to hundreds of thousands of pounds being at stake. So it is with this in mind that I am giving you my insights to help you achieve the very best you can on what is probably your largest financial asset. When it comes to selling your home, most people think of the TV show Location, Location, Location with Kirsty and Phil. However, understand that location, size, condition and presentation play a significant role in assessing your home's value. There are a few unexpected factors that can also have a surprisingly large impact on your home selling price. It ranges from the quality of your nearest pub, good Lord, that's the one, isn't it? Which obviously you can't do anything about, unless of course you own it, to the state of your child's bedroom. So let's have a look at why you need to prepare your home before asking for a valuation. Interior design, that's decorating to you and me. It matters. Your personal taste in interior decoration, as lovely as it may be, can either boost or detract from your home's appeal. While you might love bold wallpapers and unique designs, potential buyers might not share your taste. Experts suggest that perceived bad taste can reduce your home's value by 5 to 10%, and that equates to anything from £12,500 to £35,000. Pets will cost you. Now, while many people cherish their pets, and I used to be one of them, they can negatively impact your home selling price if not managed well. Declutter all of the dog toys. Choose and make sure you wash their bed so that it smells fresh. If your pets are intimidating or have a strong odor, or you just have too many, you might see up to 5% knocked off your asking price, and I have researched this subject well. It's important to ensure your home is pet friendly and clean during viewings. If your pets are intimidating or have a strong odor, or you just have too many, you might see up to 5% knocked off your asking price. It's important to ensure your home is pet friendly and clean during viewings. Make sure you bathe your dog. Perhaps consider asking a friend who doesn't have any pets to come around to see if your home smells of animal, dog, the smell that you're not smelling anymore, as you and your family may well be nose blind, and that is actually a thing. I didn't realize, but there you go. And you wouldn't even know it. I know I was possibly like that when I had my little dog Harry. He was a long-haired miniature dachshund, and despite me washing him at the slightest hint he might be getting a little whiffy, it happens and you don't even know it. Tidy up the children's rooms. Believe it or not, a messy child's room can significantly affect your home's value. According to a respected financial institution, clutter and disarray in a child's bedroom can reduce the perceived value of your home by as much as £8,000 in the UK. I have no idea how much it is in the US. Goodness, wouldn't that buy a lot of carpets and curtains in your next home? This is because a cluttered, messy room appears smaller and feels less functional. And let's face it, who among us can afford to leave £8,000 on the table and just walk away from it, just for the want of a bit of decluttering and tidying before you invite an estate agent round to value your house? Decluttering, sorting and styling your home for selling will add thousands of pounds to the value, especially so when compared to leaving the mess and expecting purchasers to be able to see through it and see through the clutter. They don't, you know. If you think about it, with the average price of a 3-bedroom home in the UK being anything from £250,000 to £350,000, the amount you could be losing could be anything from £12,500 to £17,500 just for the want of a bit of decluttering and preparing your home ready to sell. I mean, it's just a complete no-brainer, isn't it? It's a sobering figure. I have to tell you that purchasers who are able to see the space are very few and far between. They won't be able to imagine their own furniture in your home, and you, darling, will have lost them. Just they won't be coming back, which would be a pity, wouldn't it? When there are toys all over the floor and on every surface, it prevents even the most desperate buyers from seeing through the clutter to the space on offer, and therefore knowing how their furniture would fit into that room. The result is the potential appeal of your property is severely restricted. Here are 5 reasons why you need to declutter before putting your house on the market. And that means, even more importantly, before you invite the estate agent or realtor around too. And if you want to see how I'm decluttering my own home of 38 years of stuff, actually it should say the 38 plus years of overspending and putting it into the loft to hide it. Although I didn't hide it. It was all over the shelves. But there you go. I've stopped. Almost. Well, I'm not buying any more fabric anyway. You can see it here. So the first reason to declutter is it gives your property an enhanced appeal. A clean and organised space is always more inviting to potential buyers, making it easier for them to see themselves living in your home. They will remember your home for all the right reasons. The second reason is increased space perception, and that really is an important one. Young people certainly, are upgrading because they want more space. Generally, when you're older like me and my darling boy, we downsize. So we still want to see a clear area. We don't want to see clutter. Well, least of all, I don't. Possibly my darling boy wouldn't even notice it, but I do. And clutter just makes everything look small. So when you're young, you want a bigger area, and if it's full of stuff, you're just going to walk away. And that would be a shame, because that house might be the perfect one for you. Decluttering will absolutely make the rooms appear larger and much more open, which will mean they will remember again your home for all the right reasons. Reason 3, a faster sales process. Homes that are decluttered typically sell faster because they look more move-in ready and less personalised, thus attracting a wider client base. A minimal home is more inviting to the potential buyer, especially in this day and age, and this leads to quicker sales. And again, I know I've said it before, they will remember your home for all the right reasons, and that's important. Number 4, a higher selling price, which is what I've said all along. A tidy, well-maintained home, inside and out, will command a higher price. Buyers are more willing to pay a higher price for a property that feels cared for and looks appealing. It feels more valuable, and also it feels like there won't be so many problems around the corner once they've moved in. It's not quite so scary. It's going to be a lot of money they're going to fork out. And if it looks cluttered and again neglected, they're going to knock you down in price because they can foresee problems ahead. Number 5, easier viewings. A decluttered, minimal home is far easier to keep clean and presentable for viewings, allowing you to focus on other aspects of the selling process without all the added stress. With less clutter, having fewer items will help highlight the layout and the features of your home, and the room will feel brighter and more airy. It will allow buyers to start envisioning how their own furniture and belongings will fit. They will start imagining themselves living there. And if you don't declutter, they won't do that. They actually won't. They'll just move on. It's a thing. It's a real thing, and they will just leave. And here's the bonus tip. Once the decluttering is done, and there can be a lot of stuff to declutter at first, but how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And if you know you're going to be moving in a year's time, for example, start decluttering now. Do a drawer at a time if that's your thing. Bite off manageable chunks of it. Set a timer for 10 minutes. It works. I found myself doing it every morning now. I get up, I put my coffee on, and then I set my timer for 3 minutes actually, and I go and tidy up an area. And because I did it yesterday and the day before and the day before that, it's surprising what you can do in 3 minutes. And if I hadn't finished it by 3 minutes, I cheat and I redo it to another 3 minutes and another 3 minutes, and then generally that's it. And I'm so pleased. I start off the day pleased with myself, thinking I'm a real clever cook. And there you go. That one tip actually really, really works. as well as the dog poo thing. And if you don't know about that, you need to watch one of the other videos. But it is working. And if you want to put your house on the market, start early with the decluttering. Once the decluttering is done, it will save you hours and hours and even days when you come to move. At our age, downsizing often involves moving to a much smaller space. God forbid. By decluttering first, you lighten the load, making the moving process simpler and less overwhelming, and that has to be just wonderful, doesn't it? That's you having eaten half the elephant already. If you still have a lot of stuff, you could consider seriously about putting it into storage if you really can't make up your mind. However, it will cost you. It will cost you more if you leave it in your home, because it'll cost you a sale. It will cost your valuation being knocked down. So once you start your decluttering, it's as if you're growing a decluttering muscle. And I speak from experience, personal experience, doing these videos. I am flexing. I'm a bit like Arnold Schwarzenegger now. I have got such large decluttering muscles. I think I need a larger shirt. But it actually works. Once you've started doing it, you will be surprised how decisive you start to get about stuff, even if you're only doing a tiny bit. My next declutter will be my kitchen, which you can see behind me. Now, it always looks fairly tidy, but I do have a lot of stuff, and I know, well, I don't like cooking, so I know practically all of it doesn't get used these days. So that's going to be a big task, and somebody's going to be the beneficiary of it, which will be great. So before putting it into storage and thinking, I'll do that later, you might end up moving with it, having paid a lot of money to store it. So why not just make the decision and start flexing your decluttering muscles, because they do grow. I mean, look. And remember, you're going to have to pay for things to be stored that you ultimately will have no room for because your place is going to be so small. So think long and hard about it. Putting excess stuff out of the way while you come to a decision will help you make your home look less crowded, but you'll be paying for it. So, you have to weigh up what matters more. Remember, the object of this process is to maximize the value of your property before the estate agent comes round. By making your home look the best it possibly can and the largest it possibly can, by whatever means. And if you have been, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.